But let me ask you this, as I'm so intrigued about this conversation, and I've had my fair share of specialists, doctors, experts.
I don't claim to be any of that.
Yeah, but I think my question is, why should somebody listen to you?
Oh, because I have the data to
Great question.
support anything that I say.
Okay.
You know, I know some people just learned of me from my single show that I started 6 years ago. But like I said, I am a 25-year plus television and radio journalist. Before interviewing single people, I used to interview celebrities, you know, for a living. And there's things that I know now that I did not know 6 years ago. I wouldn't even spoke on it. You know, I always knew, kind of like you, kind of like most people,
Right.
we know our reality, right? So I literally have done a case study. I have talked to more than 16,000 single people. I have 4 weddings this year, all because of my platform. One in Paris, one in Antigua, one in the Bahamas, and then there's one local in America. But overall, more than 20 people have gotten married from my platform. I haven't given birth to a baby, but there's children on this planet because of the platform. But I want to reset and give that to God, because I don't want to act like I'm the big person doing it. I really do feel as though God used me as a vessel for this mission. So anything I say, it's supported with data. It's supported with doing research. A lot of times when people read numbers, they read statistics. Well, I'm the one that collected the information so you can have the statistic.
And I believe that she does have a lot of data and very good data to back up a lot of her decisions. But see, here's the really interesting thing about this conversation. I'm really glad that Cam Newton was doing this, because his podcast is phenomenal. So shout out to Cam Newton. But it's a really interesting conversation because, like, she does have the data, but not necessarily the lived experiences. So I guess it really goes back to what is more important to the consumer. Is it the person with the experience, or is it the person with the data? I know a lot of people tend to hate on Kendra G. I think she's doing a lot of good. I truly do. I think that she does a good job with her interviews and things of that nature. I think she does a good job uniting single people. And I think she does, like she mentioned, she's gotten people married. And I truly do believe that there has been a lot of good that's come from her platform, and that people have been united with their spouse and their husbands and wives on their platform. And has sparked a lot of relationships and things of that. I think she's also called out women for some of their contradictory ways and some of their unrealistic expectations. So I think there's been a lot of good that has come from her platform. I think it'd be really hard to deny that, like, there's no good that comes from it. I think where the argument comes from is, though, that she does not have any actual experience herself in what she's catering to. Like, she herself has a platform uniting single people to get married, but she is not married. She sometimes, I think it comes up maybe a little bit later on here, but maybe might give some advice about kids, but she doesn't have any kids. So I think that's where it gets hard. It's kind of like, hey, who do you listen to? The personal trainer that doesn't have necessarily all the data and everything, but is in shape, so they can tell you how to get in shape just from their experience. This is what I did. This is how to track your macros. This is how to diet. This is how to exercise. This is what you need to do on a daily, weekly basis. Or the person that's like out of shape and it's like, hey, I can tell you exactly what to do. I don't do it. I've never actually done it, but I know what to do. I know what to do now. And that's where it gets tricky, because a lot of these social media gurus and experts can tell you all day how to get rich, right? How to sleep with all these women, right? These people online can tell you how to get women, how to sleep with women, how to get married, how to get rich, but they themselves is not rich. They themselves don't have any game. They themselves don't have any of it, but they can tell you how to do it. They can tell you how to do it. So Kendra is slightly different because she has a platform in which she actually has found success in some of these things that she actually does not have experience in. So it's a very interesting conversation.
So that's why somebody should listen to you?
Well, how about this? you don't have to listen. So I understand what you're saying. If you don't have to take what I say, because at the end of the day, it's your life. So you can do what you want with it. But if I'm going to join the conversation, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think we're in a space and content that everybody has something to say about something.
They show.
Okay.
And sometimes that conversation subject is relationships. I think the question or the head scratcher sometimes is, what gives you the right to bring people together? Are you married?
I'm not married.
Have you ever been married?
No, I haven't.
Have you been engaged?
I have been engaged. But before you go any further, what's the name of my show? It's called Kendra G Singles.
Yeah.
It's not called Kendra G Married. It's not called Kendra G Relationship.
Yeah, okay, that's where I gotta call it out there, because yes, the name of her show is Kendra G Singles, but what's the whole purpose of the show? The whole purpose of the show is to find someone that you want to be in a relationship with, is to have a relationship. And then from there, what's the whole point of relationship? To get married. So yes, even though the name of the show is Kendra G Singles, the whole point of the show is to be in a relationship. And then from there to get married. So I'm with Cam on this one.
How I even got birth is because I'm single.
Yeah.
I was in a relationship during COVID. We broke up during COVID. The world is shut down because single life outside is popping, right? But single life during COVID, when you break up, you had nothing. I felt like I was Will Smith and I Am Legend. If we go back to that time, D Nice was connecting us all via Instagram Live with music. So literally, I'm like, if I feel this way single, I know other people around the world probably feel this way single. So then I went on IG Live and I said, listen, I'm hooking up single people tonight. And that one night, I knew I changed my life forever because I came from media. For one, it was regular people. You know, we see people in the comment sections. I seen their houses. They call in, right? And I'm media trained, so it doesn't seem like there's an art to it, but there's an art to it. So if everybody could do it, they would. So the purpose of the show, it's a live dating show. So how it works is, let's just say Cam Newton was single. You call in, I'll ask you the questions, the world watching, then they reach out to you. As they reach out to you, you have several. Well, now we have the Kendra G Singles dating app. We grew from Instagram to Facebook to YouTube, and now we have a bona fide dating app. So you call into the dating app, they see you live, and then they reach out to you. So instead of you just going off of a picture, now you actually go off of a video.
So dating is to stay single or to get
No, I think dating, I think life is a journey, right? So you're not married. You've been very vocal about not wanting to get married, but you're in a relationship, right? There's some people, there's different dynamics, right? So you can be single, but single is becoming a lifestyle choice for some. We are in a new phase where people are saying, you know what, I'm happy single, and that's what it is. And dating works better for them. So when you date, that's the whole purpose of dating. You find someone that you might match with and you might stay long with, or you grow from and you go. The problem right now is...
Look, I think what she's saying is all factual. Everything that you mentioned, I haven't done the data or the research, but look, what she's saying is factual. There are people that just want to be single, just date, and that they don't strive to be in a relationship and be committed and have a monogamous relationship and be married. I know we all know that's the case. But I don't think that's the majority of people. Like I said, I haven't done the research to like the data as far as what percentage of people that actually is compared to the people who actually want to be married. But I highly anticipate the people she's speaking out is the minority. It's got to be. Most people want to be married or in.
We are not acknowledging how much our world has changed. See, we used to go by these old dating rules where there was a time when women couldn't even get jobs, couldn't get bank accounts. You know, all men could get a woman because it was survival. We didn't have a choice. So it's not like Rufus wasn't down the street with Berta Dean. It's just Berta Dean didn't have a Facebook page to post the dinner that she made for Rufus. So, you know, your man might have been somewhere, but it wasn't in your face. It was a different time. that time has changed because women now, we're able to have voices, we're able to have jobs, we're able to support ourselves. So dating has changed. Women are doing well in the financial category. So when you have all those things in a mix, also with social media, that's really the game changer, because you could be in Atlanta and like your wife could be in Texas. That's literally what happened from my show. The first year, and literally like the first week, I had a guy that came on. He was living in Charlotte. Again, it's international, worldwide. There was a girl living in Miami that saw him on the show. He came on my show May 2nd. They got married the following year, May 2nd. They now have 2 kids together. And everyone that's met from my show, they would tell you, if it wasn't for this platform, we would have never met, because it launches you out to the world. It's one thing for you to see people in your face, but now you have a show to see people from anywhere around the world.
So what qualifies you, if you're single, you've never been married,
Right.
you've never, you said you was engaged,
Right.
But at the same time, you said, that's why I have a show called Kendra G Singles.
Right.
It's to talk to singles. But I said the ultimate goal for that is, in essence, to matchmake or to put them on a platform that then will have somebody reach out to them, which goes back to the overarching thing is, if you're having all this insight, 16,000 singles that you've spoken to,
Yes.
Over a
6 years since COVID, it's 2026.
over a 6-year span.
Yes.
When I have spoken to experts, doctors, people who are in this field, that's my question. Are we talking about experience that you've actually been through, or is this something that you've observed and said, hey, I talked to this person is married, so I can gain all the information from that married couple, from this divorced couple, from that divorced couple, and this gives me the right to talk about that. I may not have been married, I may not have been divorced, I may not have had a fiance, but
okay, can I jump in, not to cut you off? What does being married have to do with hosting a single show?
In a relationship.
So I've been in relationships, I'm single right now, but what does that have to do with hosting a single show?
It has nothing to do with it.
Then why do we keep bringing up married and...
No.
Okay.
The conversation question was asked, why should people listen to you?
To me, right? I'm not the kind of person that says you have to live by what I say, but I can back up anything I say. So you could not tune into the show and you know what I'm saying? I don't have people should listen, they have to listen. What I'm saying is I can give you information.
I think she's missing the point what Kim is trying to get to, what he's trying to ask. What somebody's asking is, hey, you have this platform on which you kind of, in a sense, are positioning yourself as an expert when it comes to going from being single to being in a relationship and things like that, with the ultimate goal usually being to get married. Regardless of this or that, why should people listen to you when it comes to this subject? Is it from personal experiences, or is it just strictly from the data? Like, why should people consider you the subject matter expert when it comes to this? What makes you the authority figure in this? That's simply
that I know is vitable and could change your life if you want to hear it, if you want to receive it.
So when I hear certain people in these type of dynamics, I've talked to Dr. Bryant, I've talked to...
Shout out to Dr. Bryant.
My man from tonight's conversation, I've talked to Ace Metaphor, correct. I've talked to Dimitri Wiley, a guy who's an influencer who speaks.
I know all those 3 people.
Yes, and it's so many different doctors.
Right.
And when I have these conversations, it's almost a head scratcher, because what I speak about personally is through my experiences. No, I have not been married. Okay. No, I've never been engaged or engaged to a person, but I've dated a lot of women. I'm not proud to say that, but that's just my experiences.
Right.
So giving a viral clip, giving something that you may have heard from me, this is not what I've observed other people to do. This is my life. Right. I've been exposed to so many different types and different women that I'm like, okay, I'm beginning to get a different kind of dynamic or understanding that this is what women are expecting from me. Sometimes I'm able to give that. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I can be emotionally available. Sometimes I'm in my hustlers phase and I can't. So when I talk about relationships, it's not to say that I'm a guru. I'm just giving you my expertise of what I've been through. So now flipping it back to, how we get to this particular part, it's like, there's a lot of questions that come from a conversation in this type of magnitude. Is like, well, she talks to singles and it is her show. It has an amazing platform and it is entertaining. Above all, it's entertaining, just to, step into people's lives and worlds and to realize what the expectation is. But at the same time, when you do that, you now become susceptible to questions from people who have experienced certain things, whether married or in a relationship or not, given the fact that you're not married or you're not in a relationship. And
well, I'm not in a relationship right now. I have been in relationships. Okay. A couple things. I hear what you're saying. I don't walk away from it. I stand on a married person could not be successful with hosting my show. The show is called Kendra G Singles. It's on.
What? Why? Okay, let me let her explain. That doesn't make
brands. And third, of course, I have life experiences that help me. I have a life experience that really helps me understand a man in your position. My show has allowed me to hear other people's point of views. And what I've learned from my show is you can't really, dating advice is not one size fit all. It's different dynamics for different people for 1,000 different reasons. So before my show of talking to 16,000 people, I was like you. I could only speak from my point of view. Now what my show has allowed me to do is talk to people who have a different lifestyle, have different desires, different wants, different circumstances, come from different areas, and it gives me a better assessment.
I think let's speak on what we know to be true. That's what you've heard personally.
But how do you think, okay, let me ask you this. When you read a statistic, how do you think they collect the information?
Yeah, but if I'm only giving you things that I've experienced, if that's what you heard, let me rephrase that and say,
that's what you said.
I can give you my experiences and experiences of others.
And that's the same thing well, then we're doing the same thing. Because I can give my experience and I have 16,000 other experiences I can share. Yeah. So who do you think is capable of having this conversation?
If I'm taking relationship advice, I want it, me personally.
Yes.
I prefer it to come from somebody who's been in a relationship or.
I've been in a relationship. I'm not in one right now. So you have to be current in a relationship. I
would want somebody, if I have expectations to be, let's say, married. If somebody if somebody hasn't been married, it would be hard for me to receive what they're telling me.
I'm gonna go stop there. I think Cam makes a good point. I think he makes a really good point. I'm the kind of person, I'm only gonna take advice from someone who has accomplished or is accomplishing where I want to be. Like you mentioned, myself, I do aspire to be married. So when it comes to preparing for that and everything that goes involved, I only listen to married people. I don't listen to people who are single. Why would you get married advice from single people? No. When it comes to getting in shape, I listen to my friend who was a personal trainer and knows what workouts to do, the dieting, everything, sleep, everything. I'm not listening to someone who's out of shape. Why would you listen and take advice from someone who has not ever accomplished anything that is in the direction that you're trying to go? That doesn't make any sense. There was one time, and you can see it as on this channel, as of yet, I do not have 1,000 subscribers. That is one of my goals, to hit that this year. So if you're watching right now, I would actually really appreciate it if you could hit the subscribe button, help me reach my goal. But I remember, when I first got into YouTube, so I was trying to do research as far as how to grow on YouTube, how to hit 1,000 subscribers and all that stuff. And so this video popped up about how to hit your first 1,000 subscribers. So I'm watching the video. The video is probably about 10 minutes or so. About 2 minutes into the video, I was like, something in my gut was like, We're talking about how to hit your first 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. How many subscribers did they have? And I go look, they only have like 200 subscribers. I was like, wait, what? I turned that video off so fast. If you do not have 1,000 subscribers, you cannot teach me how to get 1,000 subscribers. You can't, because you don't have it. Now, you can teach me other things. You can probably teach me about maybe consistency on the platform. You could probably teach me how to research topics as far as video topics. You could probably teach me about the equipment, as far as the camera equipment and things like that. There's other stuff you can teach me, but you cannot teach me how to get 1,000 subscribers, because you do not have 1,000 subscribers. And you know what? That's okay if you don't have 1,000. I don't have 1,000 subscribers, but I'm also not doing content how to get 1,000 subscribers, because I cannot give you something I don't have. I cannot give you something that's not in me, and I cannot give you something that I don't have. And there's way too many people nowadays that are giving advice and giving you something that they don't have. People teaching you, oh, you can get rich, you can do this, and they're not rich. Oh, this is how you get the ladies, man. This is how you do this, and they know how the ladies. Like, there's way too many people online just spewing all this BS, and they're just faking it. And I understand faking it till you make it, but you can't lead someone down a path that you don't even know what's down that road. You can't continue to do that. So I see exactly where Cam is coming from. Look, when it comes to Kendra G's show, it is a very entertaining show. I think that her platform does do a lot of good. Like, I'm not going to sit here and bash Kendra G like a lot of people tend to bash her. I think what she's doing is a good thing. I think that she's doing a good job as far as uniting single people, and a lot of them do find relationships. Like she mentioned, some people have gone on to get married. I think what she's doing is a good thing, but at the same time, Cam has a very valid point as far as, well, what makes you the subject matter why should people listen to you? Like, he makes a very valid point. And let's all be 100% honest. The real credit goes to Kevin Samuels, because she is really doing another version of Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels was the first one doing this way early, and he had a method and a formula and a concept that it was proven to be extremely successful, and he put a lot of work into it. So what Kendra G is doing is really not, she got the blueprint from Kevin Samuels. Let's be clear, even though what she is doing is a good show and I have nothing bad to say about it, the credit is still really owed to Kevin Samuels for everything that he did to give her the blueprint. So I thought this was a phenomenal interview with Cam Newton and Kendra G. I have not watched the rest of it, but I do plan to watch the rest of it. How do y'all feel about everything that Cam Newton and Kendra G said? Drop a like for the video. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see each and every one of y'all in the next video. Peace.